Ayo. What's up, everybody? It's been a minute. What's up, Ghost Rooster? What's up, Zelda Lore? Zan, Jeremy, thank you guys for stopping by, man. I appreciate it. I am I'm super anxious about streaming because it's been a long time and obviously things have not been going well for me. Um, but you know, oh, hold on, let me adjust the volume on that. What kind of Nintendo shill would I be if we didn't talk about the June Direct, you know? What's up, Ian? Thanks for stopping by, man. I am ready for tomorrow. I somehow have to go unspoiled for most of the day because I have to work, sadly. So, you know, it's going to be a challenge making it to lunch in order to watch the Direct. But, you know, we're going to try our best to not be spoiled. But yeah, man, I'm excited. The June Nintendo Directs, regardless if there's Zelda or not, they're always fun. They're always really good. Generally speaking, they're always really good, and I think it's going to be really fun to like see what the swan song for the Switch is going to be. Because right now, like what's coming out for Switch, you know, like I can't think of anything right off the top of my head. So, you know, like they got to have something for Christmas. They got to have something leading into the launch of their new console. So it's going to be interesting. I think this is going to be a situation where they're just kind of tying up loose ends. And by loose ends, I mean Wind Waker and Twilight Princess. Silk Song for real, Zelda lore. Oh my god, dude. My dear friend Indescribable will have a heart attack if they show Silk Song. They gotta show it at this point, man, right? Because it's been what? When did they announced it in 2019? With when they announced Tears of the Kingdom, or teased it rather. Prime 4 status update. I think Prime 4 is going to be a next generation title. I think for sure Prime 4 at this point they could make it the swan song and send the Switch off with a bang, but I feel like that's a system mover. And you know, especially Metroid has had such a resurgence in the last few years. I feel like it's powerful enough of a title to really move units. Legend of Navi, thank you for stopping by. Appreciate you. Hope they add Security Breach Ruin DLC on Switch. I don't even know what that is. What is that, Navi? Security Breach sounds familiar. What is that? Security Breach Ruin. I'll look that up in a second. She will definitely have a conniption fit, Jeremy. Oh my god. But I want that for her because like Tears of the Kingdom was my big thing, you know, like the big game that I was anticipating for years and was putting clown makeup on for. I want my friends to be happy. I want it to be there. Next update will come from Team Cherry directly. You think so? I kind of thought maybe it would show up at the Xbox showcase, but it didn't. Oh man, I briefly talked on Twitter about the about all the like Summer Games Fest stuff, but I guess we could talk about that stuff too. FNAF thing. Okay, I kind of thought it was Five Nights at Freddy's, but I wasn't sure. Metroid Prime 4 is never coming out. Not with that kind of attitude. It is a bit of an enigma of a game, though, isn't it? It kind of seems like it's a myth. There will probably be a trailer for a new Pokemon Legends and a supposed release date, maybe. That's a good guess, Ian. I think, yeah. Legends ZA. That's a good guess for sure, because, like, they could definitely show some stuff off now and then release it. See, this is the problem, right? Everything that's like kind of close to releasing now feels like it should, like, or at least big titles feel like they should be saved for like the new system. But I don't know, because I mean, like, there's no way they don't have backwards compatibility for this, whatever this new console is, you know. Want more than a logo? Yeah, for sure. They have to show something. Because how long has it been since, for Metroid Prime 4, how long has it been since Retro took back over? It's been a while. They should have something to show off at this point. Metroid and Elder Scrolls are in the same boat. They really are. I've gotten so jaded with video game releases, with how they're like shown off like so far ahead. Like it really, really just irks me now. Like if you don't have anything substantial to show, like if you're not able to show gameplay, I don't want to see it. Like at this point, like there was a ton of stuff last week where it was just like, you know, these super cool cinematic trailers. And it's like, that's cool, don't get me wrong, those are hype. I don't know what kind of game that is, dog. You know, like, please just show me some gameplay or something. Assuming they show something Zelda, what do you think it will be? I'm thinking 2D for sure. Oracles maybe. I truly feel like this is like their best opportunity. I'm gonna make chat a little bigger. It's kind of small. Let me I feel like this is finally their opportunity to bring out the Wii U titles. But that being said, as someone who's never like really truly played the Oracle games, I would love for them to be more accessible and for more people to get a chance to play them. They're on, you know, Nintendo Switch Online, of course, but like as with a lot of the 2D Zeldas, they kind of show their age. But I for sure think like remaking it in the Link's Awakening 2019 art style would be just such a easy no-brainer thing for them to do, and I would love it because then I could actually see myself completing it. I'm assuming they would, like, if they did the Oracles, they would probably like maybe merge the titles into one and do like the, you know, the third installment that was supposed to be there, but I don't know. Metroid Prime 4 trailer was in 2017. I was 22 years old. Oh. Wonder if they'll remake, I'm assuming Twilight Princess? I don't think they'll remake it. They just need to, if you're referring to Twilight Princess anyways, Ian, I'm assuming you're referring to Twilight Princess. I just need the ports. Like, Wind Waker HD is arguably the better remake. But I want them both because I just want mobile Twilight Princess. That's the only thing on the Switch that I want anymore. Like, literally, that's all I need to be content as a Nintendo and a Zelda fan, is Twilight Princess on the Switch. Portable Twilight Princess is all I really want. I think they will give us something for Pokemon Legends ZA. Also, thanks for doing so much, saying my name, and for a small channel like mine, it's an honor. No worries, of course. Like, it's the least I could do, honestly. And I like to like acknowledge the people who wanna come in and talk. So thank you for being here. I need some Fire Emblem Genealogy of the Holy War remake. Which one is that, Jeremy? What was Engage was the last Fire Emblem they made, was it not? Let me move that over a little bit more. I'm pretty sure, like, yeah, it wasn't Engage, like, because it's like the Pepsi Man hair duo, right? I don't remember. I wish I could get into Fire Emblem, man, but like, it's just so like, if Three Houses couldn't do it, I just don't think it's meant for me. And I gave it a good try, you know, like, I didn't get super far into it, but I did try. They could reuse the art style of Link's Awakening. We don't know what Grezzo is cooking up. Grezzo's been quiet because people have like really like I know people have been asking Grezzo like if they've been working on anything, which, you know, they wouldn't confirm anything, but like I don't know, like, what was the last thing Grezzo did? It's been a long time, so like, I mean, they've been working on something for sure. Yeah, okay, yes, for sure. Yeah, Twilight Princess. That's the main thing I want. Minish Cap remake like Link's Awakening. Yeah, for sure. I think all of the 2D games I think would really work well in the Link's Awakening. I love that art style. I'm just a big fan of the diorama and like little models, like art style that they went with for Link's Awakening. So I'd be a big fan of it. I feel like with Minish Cap though, they would maybe do something a little different. I don't know if it would translate to that as well as like the Oracle games would, but I'd be okay with it. I've played a little bit of Minish Cap, but again, it's one of those Zelda titles that I haven't like actually beaten. I have it emulated, but you know, neither here nor there. If they remake a Fire Emblem game, they need to remake Radiant Dawn. That game is not cheap. Oh man, that's the big thing too, like accessibility. Like, you know, Nintendo's so gung-ho about nobody pirating their stuff, but you know, they make it difficult for you to legally get their IP. Oh, just go try and buy an old Pokemon game and you'll know what I'm talking about. It's ridiculous. The Colgate toothpaste. Yeah, for sure. They were interesting character designs for the last Fire Emblem. They looked cool though. It's one of the early ones that never released in the US, but yeah, the last one was Pepsi. Rather not Radiant Dawn, I just want the missing games in the US. Oh yeah, that's a good point. I didn't even think about like region lock stuff for sure. Least expected Zelda to get a remake at this point? Barring the ones that have already, like, I wouldn't count, like, the ones that have already got, like, a remake. Like, just looking out of, like, I feel like Ocarina of Time is inevitable that they're going to remake Ocarina of Time in, like, the Breath of the Wild open world format. That's only a matter of time. I truly believe that's only a matter of time before they do that. I think like maybe Link to the A Link Between Worlds, maybe. Like, I mean, that's still a really, really solid game as it is. The problem is a lot of the games that needed remade, they've kind of already done. Minish Cap is so good. Everybody says it's like I know a lot of people who that's their favorite Zelda. Capcom made, man. I mean, that's just some of the stuff. According to Wikipedia, Grezzo's latest title was Miitopia 2021 and Jed Dragon for iOS. A mobile game in Miitopia 3 years ago. That's a lot of time. Okay, listen, I don't, you know, I am a layman. I don't know what goes into video game development, but I can only surmise that a mobile game is probably a little easier to make than a full-fledged video game for a console or for PC. I could be completely ignorant, don't get me wrong, but just going off of what I know about mobile games, generally speaking, they're a little bit more simplistic than a common video game. 3 years is a pretty long time to not release anything. I mean, that seems like a lot of time for them to be working on something. Piracy is the only option due to price. Legitimately, it is. Like, they're in... How many video games would be lost to time if it wasn't for piracy, you know? Zelda CDI remake win? How funny would that be? Like, if they legitimately just remade the CDIs. I mean, like, obviously, Nintendo didn't do it, but what was those games? Arietta? There was a recent game that came out. Hold on, let me look it up. Arietta? Game? I can't remember. CDI. Arzette, that was it. The Jewel of Faramore, which is a game that's made in the style of the CDI games, which is incredible. Red Joe says that would actually be hilarious. I would buy them. I feel like there's such a cult following for the CDI games now that, like, obviously it would not do as good as like a mainline Zelda, but like there would be some people that would get it. They remade the CDI games, but not the Wind Waker Twilight Princess port. There would be riots. Yes. Could you imagine? A.G. Aonuma steps out, bows to the camera, addresses the entirety of the world, and says, "We've been wanting to recreate a game that we think fans have been asking for a long time. Games that have desperately needed to be updated and brought to a new audience. Introducing the Zelda CDI collection." Oh my god, that would be incredible. Steps out wearing a Wind Waker and Twilight Princess t-shirt to announce the CDI games. This is incredible. Aonuma's cheeky, man. He would do some stuff like that. I love Aonuma so much, man. I really hope Tears of the Kingdom isn't his last Zelda. I'm a little worried it is, because I know he's getting... I'm sure he wants to retire soon. Do it for the memes, for sure. Nah, I don't think there'll be any DLC, Ian. I wish there was, but I don't think so. I think they meant what they said when they said there wasn't going to be any DLC. Like, if they did anything, I think Master Mode, because it doesn't make sense for the game to not have Master Mode. Like, that is just like, that one still baffles me. If they were to do anything, that's the most realistic, I think, and like, they should do that. There's no reason for them not to. At this point, I think they're just so tired of the era of the wild, and they're ready to do new stuff that they just don't even want to work on it anymore, honestly. You want to see Kid Icarus so bad? Didn't? No, I have got to be misremembering. I could have swore they were like porting Uprising for some reason. That's the only Kid Icarus I've ever played. There's only 2 Kid Icaruses, aren't there? Kid Icarus. How many Kid Icarus games is there? Sequels. Okay, so there's not even really that many Kid Icarus games. I felt like Uprising, I mean, people really liked Uprising, I think, right? I mean, because it was Uprising. Okay, yeah, that's what I thought, yeah. They really need to shake things up for the next open world game. I'm very curious to see what they do next. Yeah, me too. I truly hope that they really take a look at the grievances everyone has with the storytelling approach, and just give us like super detailed, intricate plot. I know that's a long shot, but it would be really cool to get like super like story focused Zelda game, like more so than others. You know, because like all the Zeldas, you know, before the last few have been like, I don't want to say more story focused, because, you know, like gameplay first with how they develop, but like they had story. I'm talking like, I want like full-blown narrative masterpiece, my dude. This was so fun, but sadly I have to go. Have an awesome rest of your day. Navi, thanks so much for stopping by. I appreciate you for coming and hanging out. Small chance, but 99.9% is not happening, is a Switch 2 segment. No, they confirmed that they're not doing anything for the Switch 2. I mean, maybe they could do like a one last thing and like reveal when they're going to talk about it. But I like new, honest Nintendo who just kind of just says, hey, don't get your hopes up. The things that I think, okay, and this is going to get into part of what I want to talk about, which is the predictions, and also like maybe have a bingo card template, I think, but I don't know if I want to go through the trouble of finding it. We'll just talk predictions because I'll forget about the bingo card if I'm being honest. I think what we are likely to see is maybe a segment on the Masterworks for Tears of the Kingdom and all of the new Zelda merchandise. I think we might see something about the Lego sets. I think there's a good portion of the new Zelda content that's coming out that they could have a whole section dedicated to. Xenoblade 4 trailer, maybe? Would it be too soon? I don't know. I have a scuba tank worth of copium at the ready for a new 2D Zelda announcement. It's been too long. Realistically, though, if there is anything Zelda related, it'll likely be port, remaster, remake. Also, sup, Tyler. What's up, Don? Thanks so much for stopping by, man. I appreciate it. Yeah, I think that's kind of like where everybody's leaning, right? Because, I mean, it makes the most sense for this to be the time for Wind Waker and for Twilight Princess to finally come to the Switch. But I would not be upset, like Zelda lore was saying earlier, about like the Oracle games remade in Link. I cannot talk. Oh my God, Link's Awakening art style. God, I need to learn how to speak English properly. Yeah, man, I think it's going to be a good direct. I think the fact that we like have literally no idea what's coming for the last half of this year, and for this to presumably be the last major Nintendo Direct focused on the Nintendo Switch, just means there's so many things that they could do. I feel like it's either going to be like very underwhelming, and they're going to be like, hey, look, you know, this is what we got. You know, we're focusing on Switch 2. There's not really a whole lot of stuff that we got left to put out here, but here's what's coming up. You know, here's some stuff from third party. Here's some indies. Here's some first party stuff that we've been sitting on. It's going to be that, or they're just going to come out the gate swinging. Was Xenoblade in 2022? No way. Was it in 2022? I could have swore it was last year. Time has been an illusion for me recently. I don't know what year it is anymore. What is a completely unrealistic and exaggerated expectation you have? Unrealistic and exaggerated expectation. I mean, there's so much. You could, like, say so many things for this. Oh, man. Ooh, Red Joe, I'm going to have to come back to that. I'll have to think on it for a second. I can see some cool games, so I feel like the big stuff is being held off for next gen. Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with it, Zan. I'm almost positive that, like, the next 3D Mario is not going to be at this, because that's for sure going to be, like, a launch title. Glad there are no credible leaks this time around. Maybe it's me, but I will never understand leak culture. The surprise factor is half the fun of presentations like these. The only games that I am okay leak-wise with is Pokemon. And I say that because, like, I just want to know what the final evolutions for the starters looks like, so I don't make a mistake. Imagine they straight up announce Ocarina of Time reimagined. If they did, they would need to be investigated for crunch, because there is no way. My completely unrealistic hope is the return of Mario and Luigi series. Yeah, I think... I mean, there's been a lot of stuff with... I feel like they've been testing the waters with that, you know? Because, like, look at... I mean, I don't know what the numbers are, obviously, for Thousand Year Door, because it just came out. But, like, there's no reason for them not to go further in that. I mean, because they brought back Super Mario RPG, you know, cult, or not, I don't want to say cult classic. That's a classic game. People love that game, and like, fuck, it was well received. There's no reason for them not to do that. What we need is Bowser's Inside Story. Thinking there will be Professor Layton trailer or maybe some Switch ports. Yeah, I saw someone, I think HMK had maybe mentioned Professor Layton in a video he done recently. Or today, I think, on some of his predictions. I've never played those games, so I don't really know a whole lot about it. Tamagotchi Life? I don't feel like that's necessarily that unrealistic. When asked about it, Alan Numa did not deny it like he did for the Tears of the Kingdom DLC. Zelda lore, stop. You're going to get people riled up. They need to continue the RPG chain with Mario and Luigi. Yeah, for sure. Also, welcome in, Kevo-san. Thank you so much for stopping by, man. Bowser's Inside Story is a good one. For sure. I still need to pick up Thousand Year Door. I haven't picked it up for Switch. I still have the GameCube version. And I feel some kind of way about the Switch version not being in 60 frames, but maybe it's not that big a deal. I don't know. But I do want to get it just for future proofing more than anything. It is my favorite Mario game, after all, so I really should pick it up. Funny story. My mom and my brother just got a Switch. This point in its life cycle, they just got a Switch. They picked up Super Mario Wonder and Smash Bros, I think. And I was like, okay. I'm like, you know, you're 7 years late, but you know what? Pop off. I'm kind of sad they don't want to continue with Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. Get it, but it's still sad. I think... And I think I mentioned this in a video last year when they announced that there was no DLC. That I think it's a mistake not to do a DLC and like tie up some loose ends with Tears of the Kingdom and add some context. But at the same time, you gotta realize, you know, they've also been working on this specific Hyrule and these characters for 10 years, maybe a little over 10 years, because they announced in 2013 that they had started development on this new style of Zelda. So, you know, you got to ask yourself, like, can you work on the exact same thing for a decade and not want to do something different? I think these games have been revolutionary, not just for Zelda, but for all of video games. But that being said, I think it's a third iteration in this world would really overstay its welcome. As much as I love these games, they are easily, like, Tears of the Kingdom and Breath of the Wild are definitely like tied for second, maybe third favorite game all time for me. Wondering if they'll do Pikmin 4 DLC. Yeah, they kind of haven't really mentioned anything about Pikmin. 100% right. Yeah. Appreciate it. Yeah, I don't know. They haven't really mentioned a lot of stuff with Pikmin lately. I mean, I guess they could do some DLC for it. They haven't ever done DLC for Pikmin before, though, have they? Oh my God, all the stuff that I've been seeing on Twitter with people like, with the like the Miiverse a post. I miss it so much. It makes me miss it. I would love, oh man. Okay. I mean, this is not what this is supposed to be. We're supposed to be talking about stuff for tomorrow, but like Pipe Dream, okay, I'm going back. My unrealistic thing that I want them to bring is achievements or some kind of trophy system, or for the love of God. What's up, Nehru? It is the Tyler Townsend. Thank you for stopping by, my good friend. I should get Zelda glasses. I should. Oh Man, that'd be cool. I mean, they would either be overly gaudy, Sam, or they would look really cool. What was the other thing? Oh, Miiverse. Give me an achievement system on the next console and bring back Miiverse. That's all. That's my unrealistic prediction. I can't speak. Oh my god. Yeah, man. Like Miiverse, I desperately miss. Themes. How did we go an entire console cycle with no themes? They did. What if they dropped? What if they dropped themes tomorrow? Also, guys, hey, while Nehru's here, Nehru just uploaded a new video today that I have a small role in. So if you want to go check Nehru's new video out, it's also a really important video on the discourse surrounding Tears of the Kingdom and how conversations divulge around Tears of the Kingdom. I think it's a really good conversation to be had about how talking about Zelda is currently. Can't stay long, but I want to say hi. Really happy to see you streaming again. Thanks, Nehru. I appreciate it, man. Thank you so much for stopping by, dude. And tons of crabs. Aonuma turns into a giant crab. That's all you need to know about his video. Need I say more? If you're not interested now, I don't know what to tell you. Majora's Mask port. I'd be okay with that. But here's the thing, though, right? If they're going to remake Ocarina of Time, then they eventually just got to do that with Majora's Mask as well. So will they port Majora's Mask? Or will they just remake it in addition to Ocarina of Time? Unrealistic expectation could be a Zelda spinoff. I mean, I've seen people mention like another Hyrule Warriors game. I don't know how they would do it necessarily, though. And I really don't want to like... I really don't want them to like branch the timeline off again to just make a Hyrule Warriors game. So like, I don't know. I'm not a big Warriors guy anyways. So I'm okay with not having that, but like I understand there's definitely an audience for it. They did that on the 3DS for Triforce Heroes, I'm guessing. I am Aonuma, King of Crabs. That's an incredible thumbnail, by the way, Nair. Just Aonuma anamorphing into a crab is not a sentence I thought would ever be uttered. They should just make a Hyrule Warriors game for it that is explicitly non-canon. Yeah, but they would have to, like, oh my god. They would have to, like, shove it down people's throats to make sure they knew. I mean, the timeline's already messed up, so just let them have fun. Yeah, good point. I really loved the story of Age of Calamity. I really enjoyed the story for it. So, I mean, if it's done good, I can enjoy it. What up, Aunt Blazer? What up, Beamer? I love you. Thank you for stopping by. Hope you're doing well. I found an Animorph generator and I just knew. Oh, no shit. Okay, I'm gonna have some fun with that. That's such a smart idea. An Animorph generator. I'm sure it's like probably AI or something. I don't know, but that's I love the idea of that. What if, all right, guys, hear me out. What if we had Link anamorph into a wolf? Never been done before, but what if? And what if tomorrow they put it on the Nintendo Switch? New Chibi Robo tomorrow? I'm betting the house on it. Man, I've not thought about Chibi Robo in a long time. I remember, what was it? It was the 3DS one, right? That came with the little figure. Oh, man, I'm almost positive that's what it was. I can't remember. Yeah, but this is what I'm talking about, man. Like, literally everything could be on the table. I would love, okay, hear me out. Kirby's Epic Yarn, please? I really liked Forgotten Lands, but like, Epic Yarn's my favorite Kirby. Like, put that bad boy on there. Maybe something about the Zelda movie tomorrow, or is it really that impossible? I was going to bring this up earlier, Reggio. Thank you for mentioning it now, because I would have forgot. It's still a little too early, I think, but with John Cena being cryptic tweeting stuff about Zelda, I kind of feel like we might be closer to news than we anticipate. About time to remake Breath of the Wild, TBH. Yeah, I mean, look, it's so dated. Like, obviously. It needs it. Casting like the announcement about Mario, it'd be funny again. Listen, okay. I swear to God, I will be foaming at the mouth if they do not get the casting right on this. I don't... If I have heard of who Link is, I'm gonna be pissed. I need it to be some random no-name that I've never even heard of before. You still have not watched the Mario movie? What? It's so good. I went into it kind of like with my expectations a little low, but it's so good. It is so good. I loved it. I went and saw it twice, I think. Jack Black in the Zelda movie, Orion? I think Jack Black's a great actor. I'd be okay with it. He's got it. Like, I mean, obviously, like, it might be a little, like, on the nose with him being Bowser, but, like, I feel like Jack Black could, like, he's a good enough actor to do anything. Tom Holland Link would be amazing. / joke. It's obviously going to be Timothée Chalamet. Last of Us 2 has clarified that 4 years is early enough for remasters and time for an Animal Crossing New Horizons, maybe. Oh, man, I didn't think about that. What if we get a new Animal Crossing? No, that's crazy. That's definitely a new console. Animal Crossing would definitely be a new console. They are doing, like, stuff for, like, aquariums with Animal Crossing. They're coming to the Georgia Aquarium, so I might begrudgingly... I shouldn't say begrudgingly. My wife is terrified of sharks and does not like crowds, but I would take her to the Georgia Aquarium just to see whatever the Animal Crossing thing is. Oh man, the cast will be nightmarishly hilarious when revealed. I can already see it. It's either going to be great or it's going to be so dumb. Jack Black is Zelda. I need Zelda to come out and say skadoosh. Animal Crossing Warriors? Actually, though. Jack Black is all the Disney princesses? No, I have not seen this. Leonard, thanks so much for stopping by, man. Kid Icarus Uprising for the Switch. Not the first... not the first time Kid Icarus has been brought up tonight. Animal Crossing Doom crossover? Oh, man. I still have not played either of the new Dooms, which is sacrilege as a giant metalhead, I know. But that new Doom looks fucking awesome. It looks so much fun. You can fly around on a dragon, and you have a Captain America shield that is a chainsaw. It's so metal. You'll crawl through that penguin hole without me? Huh? Zelda Lore's on the right track? Yes. They also have one with Terry Crews as the Disney princesses? What is this on? Oh, I'll have to call through the penguin hole without... Oh, I got you, neighbor. I got you. Sorry. I'm brain dead, dog. That thing was a lot more cramped than I remembered as a 18-year-old. For context, everyone, Nehru and I hung out at the Georgia Aquarium a couple years ago on a very busy and extremely hot Saturday. Was not the best suggestion I could have made in hindsight, but we still had fun. Should have knew better, but it's okay. It is confirmed that Switch 2 is backwards compatible. Can you imagine if it is and all the Switch 1 games get 4K patch upgrade? Oh man, I don't know that they're going to do 4K, honestly. Literally though, if they did 1440p, I'm really a little worried about like the LCD screen rumors. I feel like that'd be such a step back, man. Like just keep the OLEDs. I for sure think Switch 2 is going to be backwards compatible. There's way too much of an install base for them to not do that, and the Switch still sells really good. I mean, it's slowed a little, but like it's still really, really good. So like I feel like the Switch 2 is going to be like an obvious upgrade that a lot of people will want. That's going to hopefully consistent 60 frames per second for every game. Or 1440p on an OLED screen. 4K, I would love to see, but I don't want to hold my breath. Found them on Facebook. I guess tag me on them, Jeremy, or send them to me. I'll watch them in a little bit. You want to go to the aquarium again? I love the aquarium. It's so much fun. It kind of sucks though, like when you go to the aquarium and it's really, really crowded. Just because like you don't get to like really linger at some of the places. That's my only like big grievance with it. Because maybe I just want to sit there and stare at the penguins for 4 hours, you know? But, you know, some little kid runs up to me and is just like, oh, I want to look at the penguins. It's a bummer. 60 frames is asking a lot for Nintendo right now. Man, they did Twilight, or not Twilight, they did Skyward Sword. Skyward Sword had 60 frames. I think really basic 4K is a possibility since they are apparently aiming for around PS4 strength, but it would be very Nintendo to completely ignore it. It would, and I don't necessarily think it's the standard now, for sure. They should have it. If they don't, as long as it's 1440, I'll be content. Frame rate, please, frame rate. That's all I ask. Do a double date there, but bring all the couples in our group. You'll have to strong arm L, or we'll have to pick like a weekday when no one's there. For the Zelda movie, I suspect that most of what we'll see on screen will be motion captured models like Avatar. The vocal performance will be more imperative than the actual looks of the actors. That's a good point. I did not think about that. Oh, and especially with like, since Wes Ball is the guy who was doing Planet of the Apes, motion cap makes a ton of sense. Wow. Now here's the thing though. Do they make Link talk, or is he just a silent protagonist still and the story revolve around him? I feel like it's almost like a necessity for Link to talk, but like I'm worried about how they do it, because like Nehru has brought this point up a ton. He might be like just overly shonen protagonist, you know, and that could get really annoying. I hope that's not what it is. There were more 60 FPS games on the PS2. I mean, you're probably not wrong. Didn't they say it will be live action though? Yeah, but that doesn't mean like everything will be like motion capture, Joe. Like look at like Lord of the Rings, for example. Like that's live action, but you know, like Gollum and like Smaug were motion captured. So there'll be aspects of it for sure that will just be people. But like what Monster Maze I think is saying here is that you know, if they're going with a more like hyper realistic live action setting using models for motion capture and then dubbing over it, I don't think that would be bad either. You don't see them going higher than 1080? Really? Don't know. I mean, I'm still using 1080 for almost everything. Outside of my main TV, but, you know. Less on motion. Oh, did he say that? I wouldn't be mad if they made him mute. I think it'd be cool. He will be voiced, you think? I think, I mean, like, maybe I'm just thinking, like, just like a samurai movie or something like that with just a silent protagonist, just a stoic guy, but, like, I don't know. Link has personality. And also, they're going to be making this probably geared more towards children, so, like, there's no way that there's not, you know? Wind Waker and Twilight Princess for the Switch. People still hoping? I'm still hoping for sure, Leonard. For sure. I think it's the most likely it's ever been. If it's not showing up tomorrow, it's either not existing or they might be just saving it to have a Zelda for a launch title for the new consoles. Avatar and Planet of the Apes are both classified as live action, and the latest Apes movie was made by the same director as the Zelda movie. Correct. And from what I hear, it was really good. I still haven't seen it, but people thought it was really great as far as I've heard. If we learned anything from the Zelda animated series, don't make the boy talk. Well, excuse me, princess. Listen, people clown the cartoon. I think the cartoon's charming. I like the cartoon. But I also like the 93 Mario movie. So, there's that. I like Velociraptor Yoshi. So, maybe I'm not the best one to, you know, probe ideas off of. I don't know if they make the movie like the Twilight Princess manga. It will not be for kids. There's, I don't know. Like, it's just, I still need to read the Twilight Princess manga in general. I'm reading Berserk right now, and actually, like, reading it. Not saying I'm reading it, and then, like, 8 months goes by, and then I read one chapter. I've read, like, 50 chapters in the past week. So I'm actually committing this time. Twilight Princess manga will be after that, if I don't forget. I would love for it to be more mature, but I just don't see that happening. It is campy as hell, for sure, Sam. Aren't the Princess Post sent? Okay, I'll look at it in a little bit, Jeremy. So excited for them to announce Odama 2. I don't know what Odama is. That sounds familiar, though. Let me look that up. Odama. Oh, it's a GameCube game. Ute Saito's Odama. Is this an RTS, Nehru? Is it pinball? Is it pinball where the ball, like, destroys people? I don't know if that's what it is. RTS pinball game. I was right. I might actually like that. That seems fun. Zelda Lore's got the quote. Ball is steering the Zelda project away from becoming a fully motion-capped fantasy. It probably isn't my choice, he stated, emphasizing his desire to anchor the film in realism. Okay. But that doesn't mean that it's going to be... Well, that says for fully mo-capped. So it doesn't mean there won't be any, just not an emphasis on it. When they said live action, I imagined something with the aesthetics of Twilight Princess and Game of Thrones. I would cream my jorts. House of the Dragon 2 House of the Dragon Season 2 started last night. I can't believe I'm super into Game of Thrones again. Jesus Christ. Neither here nor there. I found a couple that's interesting. You bought some of the books? I have been reading them through other means, Sam. Because I'm broke. Disney had the balls to call Lion King 2019 live action, so anything goes in the industry nowadays. Oh. That is tragic. How do you imagine Twilight Princess? Where will we access the Cave of Shadows in-game if it does get a Switch port? I think it will work exactly like... I think they'll change it being like an amiibo requirement. I think it'll just be inherently in the game. But if you still have the Wolf-Link amiibo, then the functionality can still work. Or they might just, you know, forego the amiibo support altogether. What if Wind Waker and Twilight Princess got a remake glow up like how Paper Mario Thousand Year Door did and also gets DLC? I doubt they definitely wouldn't do DLC for them, I don't think. I mean, they might add like smaller content, kind of like how they did the first time around with Twilight Princess HD, where they added like the stamps and stuff for Miiverse. I don't think they will get like huge additions to the game. Zelda should lean more towards Lord of the Rings than Ghibli, as Wes wants. If the options are Lord of the Rings or Ghibli, I think we win either way. Thanks so much for stopping by, Nehru. I appreciate it, man. Like I said, guys, if you haven't checked out Nehru's new video, please go check it out. It features, or not features, but I'm a part of, as well as a few other Zelda creators. It's really good topic that a lot of people need to, I think a lot of people really need to take into account. But, yes, please go give it a watch. And, yeah. Thanks, Nehru. Appreciate you for coming by, man. What is this song? Oh, this is from Pikmin. Okay. I would love for us to see something on the Zelda movie soon, but I feel like that's going to warrant its own direct. Or like its own announcement, kind of like how the Mario... Like, I know they announced the voice actors in a direct, but I don't know. I feel like there'll be more... I still think it's too early, first and foremost. But that would be really cool to see just something on it. Have you seen the Triforce % run that the mods community did for Ocarina of Time? I think I saw a thumbnail about it the other day. Like, didn't they, like, completely, like, shake things up on, like, how the speedruns are done now? I didn't watch the video, but I did, I think I know what you're talking about, Leonard. I don't think they've even begun pre-production full on yet. I'm assuming they've done something. I mean, they had to have done something. I'm assuming they have some ideas for sure. But no, yeah, I think you're right. I think at the earliest, maybe 2026, 2027. Like, the more I think about it now, like, the further back I push it. I just have so many concerns for the Zelda movie, man. I'm just so worried with how they're going to do it. I feel like at this point, like, you really have to kind of just, like, go off a reimagining of the original Zelda series. Oh, we got that good Pokemon music going now. Also, guys, if the music is... I mean, I know this is an improper time to ask now, you know, like an hour into the stream, but if the music's too loud or too quiet, please let me know. I would love to see them drop a new Marble Madness and confuse the hell out of so many people. Why not just throw everything out there, you know? Hell yeah. The dive theme is great. Music is good. Alright, awesome. I've been playing some Pokemon recently, just as like some comfort gaming. My best friend picked up Brilliant Diamond, so he's got me making a new file so I can trade Pokemon for him. The swine. But man, yeah, it just makes me miss old Pokemon. Old Pokemon games are just so good, man. That's a series that needs a fucking overhaul for sure. Pokemon really needs to get their shit together. Random thing related to this music, but I would kill for old Pokemon games on NSO. Thank you. Literally. I know they, like... God, if TikTok has taught me anything, it's that you can get an emulator for $30. And you can play all these games on them. But I just want to play it on the Switch, dog. Just let me play Emerald on Switch. They basically made a canon emphasis, quotes, on what obtaining the Triforce would be like in Ocarina of Time. It's a funny alternate non-canon possibility. Oh, okay, Leonard. Gotcha. I'll look that up if I don't forget. I feel like that'll be interesting. Still have red on the Game Boy. I have green that I bought in Japan. That's the only one I have. Oh man, I need that dust. So dirty back there. Baldur's Gate. Man, I wish I could get into Baldur's Gate. I've tried so much. You can mod a 3DS for free. I mean, that's true, but I would mess it up. Zelda live action speculation made me think of the fan film Sage of Darkness. I know that one. Nothing will beat... Okay, I mean, I'm going to date myself so bad here because nobody's going to know about this. I've only met one other person that knows about this series. In 2008, there was a fan-made live-action YouTube series called The Legend of Link, and it was so good. It was so good. It's still up on YouTube. You can still find it. But it's literally just a group of friends, and they just were running around there in the woods and in their town. It's so good. I highly recommend you look it up. It's so much fun. Emerald on Switch would be a dream. It would. That's all I'm asking for, really. Yeah, boy, you got that FS6 from Japan. OG blue version and silver and crystal. I had crystal, I think. My biggest worry for the movie is how they will capture the right tone. Zelda is not really as gritty and realistic as Lord of the Rings, but not as quirky and cartoony as Mario either. Yeah, that's a big thing for me too, Monster Maze. I feel like there is a there's a specific feel they have to nail with the Zelda movie. Like there's definitely aspects where they could lean into those directions for sure. But like it has to nail that feel of a Zelda game. And I feel like that's really hard to do in a live action sense. That's my biggest worry, because like with animation, like it's a lot easier to capture that feel, I think. Because look at something like Princess Mononoke for an example. I mean, it's like the big example everybody uses, of course, because of Breath of the Wild's influence from it. But I mean, there's a good reason for that. That movie specifically, to me, I think captures, although it's a little gritty, it still kind of captures that feel of like a Zelda game. So it's gonna be very interesting. That's just part of the stuff that's got me worried about it, because it's just like there's so much stuff that has to be done correctly, at least in terms of like Zelda fans appreciating it, I guess. Like, you know, I'm sure there's an audience for everything, you know, so like no matter what they do, somebody will like it regardless. But I feel like for Zelda fans, we're going to dissect every single frame, and we're going to want to know the nuance and how it fits into everything, and what influence is taken from where, and how canon it is, how accurate it is. Like, literally, we are going to be so in the weeds on this movie. I don't think that's a bad thing. I'm just throwing that out there. I'm just saying that's realistically, that's how we're going to look at it. And they have to be conscious of that, I would imagine, because Wes Ball's a Zelda fan. And he was smart enough not to answer what his favorite Zelda was. So like, I think it's going to be interesting to see how they go about it, for sure. Modding the 3DS is easy. I don't want to ruin my DS though. I have the I got the Link Between Worlds one. I love it too much to even risk it. Definitely love it too much. Okay. Do you think Tears of the Kingdom should get DLC? I personally don't want DLC for Tears. Rather than make a third Breath of the Wild game to trilogy to complete it. I don't know what story they would tell. There's not really much room for more for that Hyrule, in my opinion. DLC, I think, would be the extent of it. I think if we got like further clarification on certain lore aspects, further information on the imprisoning war, a deeper look at how the sages came to be, and like there's just a lot of stuff in Tears of the Kingdom that is kind of left up to, you know, readers' interpretation. So like I would love for them to do a DLC to kind of clear up some of those inconsistencies and answer some of those questions that we still have. But as much as I think it's necessary and I would love it, I don't think it's going to happen. Definitely won't be canon to the games. It would be its own continuity. I think that's more... I think that's the smarter approach for sure, Zelda lore. I guess I should kind of clarify on that. I don't necessarily mean like canon to the games necessarily, or to like the timeline or anything like that, but like authentic to Zelda. You know what I mean? Like, you know, like I can't think of a good example right offhand, but like it just needs to be like rooted in Zelda influence that makes sense. It's really complicated to achieve something like that with live action and not get gritty. A movie I can think of is Narnia. Yeah. Narnia's not a bad idea for that, I think. But this is the thing, right? With like, even with like more family friendly like live action stuff like Narnia, there's still aspects of it that are dark. You know, that they were escaping, you know, bombing runs. You know, like it was set in World War II, if I'm remembering correctly. Yeah, I think for Zelda, you just can't lean too far in one direction, because like that's the beauty of the games, is they kind of thread the needle on the balance of like, yeah, this is obviously like more, you know, kiddie and like geared towards children, but it's still dark and you know, mature enough to like capture adult audiences. For Tears of the Kingdom clarifications, we have the book coming. Oh, that's true, Zelda lore. Thank you for, yes, for sure. I think a supposed third Breath of the Wild game would be about Link in the timeline itself. Breath was emphasis on Zelda, Tears was on Ganon, so a third would be Link's of all the generation. I don't know. I just don't think there's enough material there to do it, because I mean they kind of cover that in the other ones. I mean, there's aspects of Link that could be you know, more fleshed out. I mean, they could kind of go into his background, how he became a knight and everything, but like they kind of talk about that in Breath of the Wild. So I don't know. I just don't think there's really a lot there. Demise is basically evil Link. What do you mean by that, Leonard? I'm gonna need you to explain that one. Personally, I'd rather they just move on to a new era. I also don't see a lot of story potential for this Hyrule anymore, unless they take the characters to different lands entirely. Yeah, for sure. Might as well start off with new incarnations of the characters. Exactly. Yeah, I think you nailed it on the head. Because, like, where do you go? Like, even if you go to new lands, you know, like... You mean to tell me we're going to imprison Zelda again for a third time? What I'm most looking for in the next entry is a formula shakeup. I want progression and structure again. I don't care where it takes place or what iteration of Link it is. Yeah, I kind of agree. I just need some sense of linearity because, like, you can for sure, balance that because there's a ton of examples out there of open world games that have linear story structure. I think the thing with these games was that they really wanted to allow player freedom and control. Like that's, like if you look at like, mechanic wise, what each Zelda game is based on, you look at like Ocarina of Time, right? It's time travel. That's the main gimmick, the main mechanic. Wind Waker, it's sailing and air, wind manipulation. The gimmick with these titles is all about player freedom. Freedom to explore, freedom to create, and how you approach the game. So I think it's pretty likely prediction to say that they're going to change that up and they'll do something different in the next title. Fire hair is shaped like the tuna cat. Girahim sword is a reverse master sword design. I think that's supposed to just be kind of like a yin and yang thing, though, Leonard. Where Fi is the master sword, Girahim was Demise's sword. Next game where Link is in prison and Zelda saves him. I want a playable Zelda. I think that'd be a lot of fun. And that would be a great way to shake up the formula. New incarnations would also warrant a change in art style, which I also think will be necessary to some degree to keep things fresh. Yes. They have really like I think they really like this painted, like, what's the proper term? Like watercolor style, not necessarily Breath of the Wild, I guess, but this like cell shaded like art style that's very bright, very like obvious fantasy style, I don't think it's bad, but like, yes, they can definitely do some more with it. They can change it and keep it still kind of grounded in that. I think it'll be good. Link Between Worlds is a great example. It's linear but open, structured but with player choice for dungeons. Yes. Fully expect the next game to be more realistic in nature, closer to Twilight Princess. I want that, but I don't know that they'll do it. I really like the art style for Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. I think it strikes a good balance. But I would like it to be a little bit more realistic for sure. But that's also because I'm a giant edgelord and I just want like the Wii U tech demo. And I want that, the darker Zelda. Imagine they continue the concept of modern day Link, funky Link with the motorcycle. Link would, okay, look, they could not make that goofy ass Link in jeans and a fucking zip up hoodie. That would never work. All right. Link is too cool to be looking like that clown. All right. Ain't no way. I think a modern Zelda, if done correctly, would be really cool. But the problem with that is I feel like there's, I just don't know. Like Zelda's a fantasy setting, or like a medieval fantasy setting. I just don't know how like a futuristic, like sci-fi Zelda would work. Unless they make it like Blade Runner, and then I'll love it. Does the fandom still want that realistic art style these days? I think there's a good portion of fans that still want it. I think it's only natural because you look at like where the rest of the industry is with what they're doing, and it's all hyper realistic and like almost blurring the line between like realism and like, and animation. You know, like you look at stuff at like you know, like God of War or The Last of Us. You know, any of these huge like titles that are out there that has such a focus on the narrative and on their like presentation graphically. What they're doing is it's playable movies almost. So like I think what there is it's not necessarily there is people that want that realistic art style, but I think it's also people playing other games and they see the potential that Zelda has because they see these games out there, like your Red Deads, you know, your Ghost of Tsushima's, you know, all these beautiful, like high graphic fidelity games that are just gorgeous, and they want that for Zelda too. That's kind of where I am with it, because I see the potential the series could have graphically, in a realistic art style, and that's partially why I want it. But the Wii U tech demo for sure, like, I think strikes the balance on that realistic approach, but also keeping it like animated looking, for lack of a better term. Honestly, Godspeed to the Zelda team to make something better than Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom. Oh, Ghost. They're good games, man. I think with Tears of the Kingdom especially, I think the expectations are really set it back, and I 100% blame that on how they presented the game. They should have never showed it off as early as they did. I like it too, but I think they will change it up. Either they go towards Twilight Princess realistic style or towards Wind Waker cartoony style, which they almost did for Breath of the Wild. Yeah, for sure. They're like, yeah, it's going to be, I feel like they're going to strike a chord somewhere in between those. They'll either go one of, well, I guess, I mean, this is probably just a really obvious statement, but like, they'll either go one of three ways. It's either going to be really realistic, really cartoony, or, you know, a bridge in the middle. Next game you play is Tingle. Yeah, bring the Tingle games to Switch. Wii U tech demo art style is awesome. Yes, 100%. The Wii U tech demo is going to be like the N64 tech demo with Ganondorf and Link fighting. It's going to be history repeating itself. It's going to be the same exact thing all over again. I think the same. The art style for the tech demo or Breath of the Wild are just perfect for the game. It's like peak style for Zelda. I think it strikes a really good balance for sure. But I like almost every single art style in Zelda, so I'm probably not a good person to like gauge what the direction should be. Part of me still yearns for the E3 2014 Twilight Princess beta Hyrule look. I kind of like the forest, like how they showed off the forest in the E3 2004 presentation. But it was definitely a beta, you know. I'm surprised there's no ROM for the beta Twilight Princess demo. That's kind of shocking to me, honestly. I feel like literally everything Zelda-wise ends up on the internet at some point. Almost everything. Where were I and how old was I when I saw the E3 2004 trailer? The first time I saw it, I was probably 13, maybe? Would have been home on the family computer. And it got me so hyped. That's what started my interest in watching E3. I might have been 14. I can't remember. The first E3 I remember ever watching was 2010. And that's where they showed off Skyward Sword. Whenever I view Sony and Xbox presentations, all the realistic art styles kind of blend together into one massive blur. The games I remember are the ones that do something unique visually. Yeah, you're pretty right. I think I kind of thought the same recently too with the Xbox presentation. Like, don't get me wrong, I really like super realistic looking games like that. But those, like, I find myself like kind of leaning more towards like the smaller, like more indie titles in these presentations now. I mean, obviously the big blockbuster stuff that everybody's gonna play are cool, but like, what did I wrote down a list of some of the stuff that they showed off over Summer Games Fest that I thought were really cool. Neva, that game with like the deer god that looks a lot like Grizz or Grease, however you say it. Hyper Light Breaker, which I'm really excited about. The Stardew Valley game. Yeah, like almost everything that I saw over the past week is all stuff that's like got a unique art style. The only thing that's kind of realistic is Phantom Blade Zero. That's the only game that has like a super realistic art style that I really kind of like gravitated towards. Power of a strong art direction for sure. They're good. Like I look at Ghost of Tsushima as like the example there because it's realistic, but the world is just so vibrant and so flush with color that I think that's what like sets it apart. Because it's not like, I mean, it's realistic, but like, you know, I'm not moving, 100 yards from a forest full of ginkgo trees and they're all in bright yellow, and then going straight into a field of hydrangeas. It's not like that doesn't happen in real life. So it's just how they create these games and how they make them beautiful. I'm gonna go take a pee break real quick, guys. I will be right back. All right. We back. Anything that deviates from realistic as stands out. Yeah, for sure. I think that's been a trend a lot lately, actually. At least for me, like, I mean, that's kind of the stuff that I've leaned more towards. Look at that Goron work, truly a master of his craft right there. That's right. Them swords ain't gonna forge themselves. Crash 4 being one of your highlights. Did they put Crash 4 on the Switch? I know they have the trilogy on there. I think. I'm thinking of staying up all night just to wait for the direct tomorrow morning. Taking Tuesday off anyway, so I'll be wrecked for the rest of the day. I wish I could. But I do not have any PTO. Crash 4 is on the Switch. Okay. Man, Fire Emblem music is so good. I may have never played them, but man, I can appreciate the music so much. What do you guys want to see out of the direct? I mean, I've been rambling for God knows how long at this point. Who said I got PTO? Leonard, you dog. It is fantastic. It is 100% good. That's one thing I can guarantee out of a Nintendo game is the songs are going to bang. No matter what franchise it is, it's going to have stellar music. Kid Icarus Uprising on the Switch. I will scream. I feel like it's been too long since we've had a Donkey Kong game. I mean, I know we had Mario vs. Donkey Kong, but it was a remake, and do we really count it? I feel like Donkey Kong Country should make a return. I really liked Donkey Kong Country Returns, but what if they just remade the original Donkey Kong Country in that newer art style? Would we be upset at that? Because I personally would not. Love your Zelda collection in the back, by the way. I'm trying to do the same. It's hard and expensive as fuck, though. Dog, it is. Oh my God, it is. I've been slowly trying to add to it, but it is a challenge. It has been my life's work collecting all of these things. This though, my brother bought me a GameCube Twilight Princess for my birthday this year. And it was one of the nicest things he could have ever done, because I've been trying to get a North American version for a long time. I have a Japanese version right there, but this one's playable, and I actually played my first ever file recently, a few months ago, after he got this for me. So that was cool just to revisit my very first Zelda file ever. Zelda file. What's my most prized Zelda item? Oh man, that's tough. This one's up there for sure. This is for sure up there. Man. God, I don't know. It's just kind of difficult. I would maybe go this in the Japanese Twilight Princess. I have a Master Sword replica at my parents' house. But it's not a good one. I really want that new one that Bandai Namco's putting out. But I can't find a damn pre-order for it. Man, yeah, I don't know. I haven't really, I guess, like, really sat down and thought about what my most prized Zelda possession is. It would have been my first Zelda game had I kept it, but I traded it in to get the Twilight Princess Wii version that I now have 2 versions of. Yeah, I should have kept that one. My grandpa bought that for me, and then I traded it in like a fool. I own the Zelda Ocarina of Time Master Quest GameCube disc and the GameCube Master Collection disc. Wonder how much those go for nowadays. I'm sure you could probably get a good price for those. Apparently, the Skyward Sword Wiimote apparently is pretty damn hard to get. And one of the local game shops near me told my brother that he would give me $200 for this. That's insane. I'm not getting rid of it, but that's insane. $200 for that? Zan says you have gold. It must be worth a lot. That man collects, so he would know. You got the gold nunchuck to go with the Wiimote? I didn't get the nunchuck. I just got the Wiimote because that came with Skyward Sword. Excuse me. The only thing missing in that collection is a literal Triforce. There's still a few things I want to get. I want to hang them. Like, if I can get that Master Sword replica, it will go on the wall right there. Ideally. If the shop offers $200, it's probably worth at least $3. Those retro stores really try to rip you off. They do, man. That's like literally, if it's not like GameStop, man, like literally any place that takes, like, buys, sells, or trades games, they're always like that. Waiting till they are 1,000 a piece to trade them off and then use that cash to make a movie. There you go. I mean, like, if times got really tough, I would trade it in, but, like, I mean, I don't want to get rid of any of my Zelda stuff. For sentimental and collection reasons. I just can't justify... I look at it this way. It's just like, no matter how hard of a time I'm gonna be in to where I would need to sell those, it'll be 1,000 times worse if I try to get them again at a later date. So I'd rather just keep them. The Wiimote is not worth that much, so they would be getting ripped off. Oh, see, that's what I thought, man. I was like, they can't be like that rare, right? Because they were like the pre-order bonus, and like people got Skyward Sword, so there's got to be a bunch out there. I don't know. I guess his information's wrong. Maybe I should trade it in. Yeah, I don't know. There's I mean, there's stuff that I want that I don't have. My friend Indescribable has a huge statue of Wolf Link and Midnight, and it's gonna mysteriously it's gonna mysteriously disappear one day. $70. Wow. Yeah, see, I didn't think it was that much. I don't know where he was getting 200 from. That's what he told my brother. Damn. My biggest regret is losing my original N64 cartridge of Ocarina of Time. To this day, I have no idea what happened to it. I had the same thing happen with my very first Pokemon game. I had Sapphire version. That was my first Pokemon. And it vanished. I don't know if someone stole it. I don't know if I lost it. I don't know what happened to that. And I wish I had it. I was a dumbass with my first Zelda game, though. I traded it in for the inferior version. Leonard, I'm pretty sure like that is hard confirmed. I'm almost positive you could probably just look it up on YouTube and find proof of it. And they had to change the Gerudo symbol as well. For similar reasons, if I'm remembering correctly. Not that it should matter, you know, but, you know. I guess they didn't want to ruffle any feathers by having religious connections to the real world, even though there's a cross in the original Zelda, but, you know, it is what it is. Do I got a dream remake for a Zelda game? Twilight Princess in the Wii U tech demo. I'm only half joking on that. I would love it was a fan-made teaser in 2013 of a Wii U version of Majora's Mask that was that had like a gorgeous art style. I would love for that to be real. I remember at the time, so many people thought it was real because they released it at like the same time Nintendo had their E3. So like everybody was like circulating and they're like, oh my god, they're remaking Majora's Mask. Oh shit, I remember that had the Epic Monkey vibe. It was super cool, man. I like I wanted it to be real very badly. Fun fact, I still have not beaten Majora's Mask. Oh, such a fake fan. Personally, I want to explore the beta elements of Ocarina of Time and Twilight Princess. I'm pretty sure you can emulate the Ocarina of Time beta, can you not? I want to say you can. I might be wrong on that, but I feel like that's a thing you can do. Yeah, the Islamic chant is real. You can even find the original track they used, and the other games have used it as well. Like Cruising World. Oh, I didn't know that. Thought that was uniquely Ocarina of Time. It's so silly they had to remove it. I mean, like, maybe there's more context to it that I don't know, but, like, it's just chanting. Like, who cares? God, there is no reason for Wind Waker and Twilight Princess to not be there tomorrow. I'm just throwing that out there. There's literally zero reason for them to not be there. I'm not saying that as, like, a prediction. I'm saying if Nintendo is not, like, just making dumb decisions, there's literally no reason for them not to put Wind Waker and Twilight Princess on the Switch. Like, they should just do it. I wonder if, oh, I don't have the gold cartridge. I have the gold cartridge for Majora's Mask. I do not have it for Ocarina of Time. Or do I? Actually, hold on. Sorry, I have an N64 on the floor over here. Nope. It's also gray. One day, I will have the perfect setup, and I will have all of the systems on display in the background. They have to rethink the whole Miiverse thing. I feel like with the meme going around right now, it should be enough of a hint that people want it back. I don't know. If I was religious, I would see it as a compliment to have a verse from my religion featured in a Zelda game, but that's just me. Yeah, see, that's kind of like how I view it too. It's just like, it's no different from like a Gregorian chant or something like that. I don't know, man. Senior Divine Beast, thanks so much for stopping by, man. Appreciate it. I'm doing good. Moderately excited for the Direct. Anything you want to see or any unrealistic expectations you might have, my man? Tingle bottles and stamps? Yeah, exactly. Miiverse was so good, dude. I don't know, like... That was arguably the best feature the Wii U had. Maybe it was too much to run it? I don't know, but, like... I just feel like there was just... You know when you look back in time... like in your life, and you're like, oh man, that was a really great time in my life. Like everything was going good and right. When Miiverse was around, like I'm thinking like first year of the Wii U, man. I'm thinking like 2012, like going into 2013. Miiverse was popping. People loved Miiverse. It was such a good time. I really want to see Metroid Prime 2 Echoes remastered. 3 would also be great. I have a feeling Nintendo will split up the trilogy. That's no one's suggested that yet, at least not here. That's a really good suggestion. Because the first Prime remake did really well. And they sold it for $40, man. Like, in a world where everybody's moving towards the $70 price tag, for a remake, I think that's excellent. Personally, I think that's excellent. That's a really good suggestion. I know we all want it to be a collection with Wind Waker and Twilight Princess. They should do a collection because, like, you're re-releasing it for the umpteenth time. What if they sell them individually? Ugh. I'm gonna be kind of steezed about it, I ain't gonna lie. But it literally should be the Legend of Zelda Wii U collection, or the Legend of Zelda All-Stars, or the Legend of Zelda GameCube collection, or literally anything other than them selling them individually. Because I will be major upsetty spaghetti. Excuse me. Just thinking, man, like, there's so many, like, just open opportunities. Like, the thing I'm most confident in is probably no 3D Mario. Could be wrong. I mean, maybe they do something crazy, but I feel like that's a launch title for the new one, like they did with Odyssey. Well, Odyssey wasn't a launch title. It came out later in the year, but it was the new 3D Mario. Here we are with the CDI games again. Wind Waker, Twilight Princess, and the CDI games. No one brings up A Link to the Past that much anymore. I think A Link to the Past remade would be really good. I don't know necessarily like how I would want it done, because like it would definitely work in the Link's Awakening art style, but how cool would a Link's Awakening remake in like an open world setting be? I guess we have A Link Between Worlds, so I don't know. Link to the Past, Link Between Worlds remake, remaster, I want. There's such good games. There's like, I mean, you can't play A Link Between Worlds for sure. It sucks because there's just so much unavailable Zelda that it's just like, we want it all, obviously. Like, we want access to everything, and we want it to be updated. Because, like, I'm thinking about, like, Phantom Hourglass and Spirit Tracks, too, you know? Like, those games are stuck on the DS. Like, if we could get, like, those games, like Wind Waker, like Wind Wakerify those games, I mean, it would kind of fundamentally go against, like, the gameplay elements of those games, but, I mean, visually it'd look cool. They should get us Oblivion on Switch. I mean, it could run it for sure. Phantom Hourglass and Spirit Tracks and Wind Waker HD engine would be incredible. I mean, they would have to reimagine the gameplay for sure, but yeah, yeah. You could put me down for day one purchase. I would love that. Elder Scrolls Oblivion on Switch. I wonder if they'll do, because of how Bethesda's got their things worked out with Microsoft now. I wonder if the next Elder Scrolls will be available on the next Switch console. Um, 7 a.m. Pacific time, 10 Eastern. Oh my god, what is that in British time? I can't think. It's 5 hours ahead of East Coast. It's 3 o'clock if you're British. And then past that, I don't know because I'm an ignorant American. Thank you, Zelda lore. Is it 5 hours or is it 8 hours? It might be 8 hours. I might be wrong. I can't remember. I literally don't know anything. It's 10 a.m. East Coast time. That I know for sure. I will be at work, and I will be foaming at the mouth trying not to look at spoilers. Just got to make it to noon so I can watch it on my lunch break. I'm guessing the next Elder Scrolls won't be on the next Switch right away, but hopefully it will release years later with it being the 56th special edition. Yeah, that's probably accurate. You got to be able to play it on your smart fridge. London is 5 hours ahead of the East Coast. Okay, gotcha. So it would be 3 there. All right. I did know something after all. Who would have thunk? What's my day job? I work in retail. I don't want to dox myself. So people already know I live in Georgia, so I don't want to narrow it down that much. But I work in retail. Sadly, I work in retail, but you know, it is what it is. All right, well, I got to go watch the NBA Finals. Have a good rest of the stream. Hopefully get something cool tomorrow. For sure. Appreciate it, Divine Beast. Have fun watching the finals, man. I hope Boston loses. I don't even watch basketball. I just hate Boston sports. I hope they lose. Do want to come to Georgia to try my luck to get in Marvel. I don't know if they're really filming a lot of Marvel stuff here anymore. I'm sure they probably do, but I just don't know. Like, people don't really talk about it too much anymore. Like, when Avengers was big, like, you know, people would see, like, the cast running around Atlanta and stuff all the time. I mean, Atlanta's, like, the second biggest film industry on the planet. But, you know, there's a ton of people here. But, like, when the Avengers was, like, when Marvel was really popping off, like, yeah, for sure. But I don't really think it's a, I don't know. I just don't hear people talking about it that much anymore. Probably a controversial take, but I'm tired of remakes and remasters. They can be nice holdovers for some people, sure, but I prefer moving on to new things. Yeah, I think that's a strong argument, too. I feel like, you know, in a perfect world, I mean, because we get Zeldas almost yearly now, and that's not me, like, critiquing that. I'm very grateful that we have a Zelda almost every year to play. But we haven't had, like, a whole, outside of Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, I'm not counting Age of Calamity. When was the last time we had a wholly unique Zelda that was not a 3D title, you know? Like, A Link Between Worlds, I think, was the last one. I think that's right, if I'm not remembering anything. So yeah, I mean, I feel like there's room, and people want 2D Zelda to come back. So I feel like there's room for both things to coexist, for sure. And I wonder, like, if that's just the thing they weigh, too. Like, if, you know, they look at... Presumably, it's easier to re-release something, you know? Because most of the work's already done. But I wonder, like, if they weigh those options between a new title on a smaller scale or whatever it may be versus a remaster or remake. Most games people opt for to be remade are still perfectly playable, Link to the Past, Minish Cap, etc. Main problem is availability, which is why so many people reach for emulation. Yeah, that's a good point, too. I think I was talking a little bit about that earlier with, like, the Oracle games. Because, like, they're available, you can play them, but I feel like accessibility, it just isn't there for a lot of it. Not in the same way that, like, A Link to the Past is still playable today, like, on a Super Nintendo, and it's like, you know, it's, like, you can tell, like, it's old school and it's a retro game, but, like, it's still very playable and approachable, you know, on its original hardware. Where something like the Oracle games, I don't feel like has that same feel to it. And that's something that I see that could heavily benefit from a remake or a remaster. Zelda NES remake, could you imagine? I don't know. Like, I don't know what they would do with an original Zelda remake, though. Because Breath of the Wild, in a way, was kind of that. Or at least that's what they were modeling it off of. They could have Grezzo develop a brand new 2D Zelda instead under supervision of Nintendo, just like they did with Capcom back in the day, which led to 3 great Zelda games. Yeah, for sure. I think, like, they've done it a little bit. So I don't want to, like, say that they haven't been doing this, but, like, they're not doing it as much as I would like to see, where they're releasing their IP out. Because, like, you look at stuff like Cadence of Hyrule, you know, at the time, we were like, oh my God, this is excellent. You know, like, this is them finally, like, you know, loosening the reins on their IP a little bit. And we might see a lot of other development teams get to play with the Zelda IP and do some really unique and creative things. But they haven't really done a lot of that outside of Cadence of Hyrule and Hyrule Warriors. So I feel like doing that, with strict Nintendo supervision to make sure it's all, all up to par and, got their seal of approval. I would love to see stuff like that. Because, I know there's, it's oversaturated right now with how many games there is, but, a Zelda farming sim? Take my money. I would love it. Let me take those elements in Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom where I get a house, and then just let me grow my own vegetables and tend to a little farm. Give me a Zelda life sim. I think that's really what I'm trying to say here. I want a Zelda life sim. That's my prediction for tomorrow. Run Goat Simulator? Oh my God, actually? That would be hilarious. But they could do that. That'd be like a DLC pack. Here you go. Here's the Ordon goats. I love that. But there's stuff like that, thinking about games like Cooking Mama or something like that, or is a cooking game where you're having to follow recipes and stuff and do them. You can take all these recipes from Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom and put that into a game. There's just so much stuff you could do. Ganon Overlord type game, take over Hyrule, leading bokoblins like Pikmin. That would be pretty cool. I recently learned what Overlord was. One of my coworkers was telling me about that game. It looks really cool. I think that would be a lot of fun, actually. There's definitely more potential for spinoffs, for sure. I just wish they would do stuff like that, because it's such a ripe IP for ideas and stuff that it just kind of feels like they're not taking advantage of it. And it's never been more popular, so now would be the best time to start doing this kind of stuff. How about a Zelda RTS game commanding medieval armies and monsters? I know Nehru would love that. I'm not an RTS guy, but I 100% think that would work. I have a ton of friends who like RTS too, so I'm sure they would probably try it out. If Wind Waker, Twilight Princess, Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask, Oracle remakes, all of that get revealed tomorrow, can you imagine? That would never happen. Glanced at that one 4chan post. Too good to be true. Yeah, there's no way. I think the most realistic things would either be the Twilight Princess Wind Waker ports, and then maybe one other announcement. I think we're getting one Zelda game announcement, and then they'll talk about everything else, merchandise-wise and stuff like that. Definitely don't think they're going to, outside of the collection, they're not going to talk about 2 different Zelda games. Moonlighter? Why do I know what that is but can't think of it? Moonlighter. On Steam. Oh, this is cute. I like that art style a lot. I actually have never heard of this game before. It looks very Zelda inspired though. Interesting. Trying to think of like what other like genres of stuff they could take Zelda into that would work really well. Moonlighter is basically about a shopkeeper that goes dungeon crawling to get materials, which you then sell at your shop. Ooh, I would probably like that. Moonlighter but Beetle, yeah, actually, yeah. Under that premise, yeah. I think that would work a lot. I almost said Zelda rhythm game, but then I remembered Cadence Higher. I don't know, man. There's just so much stuff you could do with it. It just seems criminal to not have Zelda involved in everything. But that is just being a biased Zelda fan, I guess. Yeah, I don't know. I'm really excited though to just see like not outside of Zelda stuff, obviously, because that's that's our main bread and butter. 40 minutes is a giant Nintendo Direct, and I think there's going to be a lot of fun stuff. It's the 10th year anniversary of Amiibo, so I feel like they might could do something with Amiibos too. Zelda side-scrolling Metroidvania like Hollow Knight or Ori. Ooh, yeah. I mean, because you have like those side-scrolling moments in Link's Awakening, so the idea's already kind of there. That'd be cool. I'm gonna list off, I'm gonna give 5 hardcore predictions. All right. We're gonna see Wind Waker Twilight Princess come to Switch. We're gonna get Pokemon Legends ZA release date. Calling that. We're getting a release date. I feel confident enough to say that because the Pokemon Company just shovels games out now. We're going to get Metroid Prime 2 because I'm stealing Divine Beast's idea. And then, let's see. Let me think. Let's go with... We've had so much Mario this year. I feel like we're kind of tapped out on Mario. Zelda Dungeon Crawler like Hades. I don't know if you guys have seen the fan art of that one artist on Twitter who has been drawing Tears of the Kingdom Zelda characters in Hades art style. It's so good. That would definitely work. It's so good. Oh my god. I love that idea too. I mean, it's just such a good idea. Oh man. Can I really not think of 2 more predictions? Damn. They're going to talk about the Animal Crossing thing with the aquariums. What else? Silk Song. I'm calling it. Silk Song. We finally see it. We finally see Silk Song tomorrow. That's my 5. The only thing I'm really like confident on is And there's no guarantee because they haven't said anything, of course. But it's just the fun of predicting, you know? Wind Waker and Twilight Princess better be there. They better be there. Alrighty, guys. I think I'm going to call it here. I appreciate you guys stopping by, man. Just to be real for a second, I was very nervous about live streaming. I've been wanting to try and get back into live streaming and making videos and making content again. Let me cut this music. It's not matching the tone of what I'm trying to say. I appreciate everyone who has reached out and helped and contributed to my dad's funeral. And I just wanted to say thank you so much for all the kind messages and the love and support. And I really appreciate all the generosity and kindness that's been shown to my family. So I just wanted to say thank you guys, because it's been very, very hard still going through all this. And I want to get back into doing the YouTube stuff and getting back into it more consistently. But I just wanted to say that this has been a lot of fun, and I think this was a great first step in getting me back in gear into that stuff. So I wanted to say thank you guys for hanging out and just letting me ramble and talk about Zelda and the direct tomorrow. I appreciate you guys for hanging out. Tomorrow, the reaction will go up when I get a chance to upload it. I will probably have enough time to record it when I'm on lunch. I will not have enough time to probably upload it. So reactions, if there is anything of substantial, they will go up probably late in the afternoon. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. I'll put the music back on while we're talking about this part. I love you guys. Thank you all so much. I appreciate you, man. Thank you for your tears. Please record your reaction if I can. I plan on it. Let's hope it'll be a good one. My tearful reaction. I cry a lot, man. I cry at everything. You know, that's who I am. My friends have dubbed me Kryler. I don't know. But anyways, thank you guys so much. I hope you guys have a great direct day tomorrow. And I hope whatever it is you're excited for, you get. Because why not? You know, life's too short to not get cool stuff that you're excited for. So be as hyped as you possibly can be. And if how fitting that we get Zelda music at the end. Yeah, be as hyped as you possibly can be. I don't care if it's for Pictocross. Be excited about something, man, and have fun tomorrow. It's going to be a great day because we're going to see a bunch of cool new video games. Regardless if Zelda's there or not, I'm going to have fun. I'm going to enjoy it, unless it's just an absolute stinker, but I don't think that's going to happen. But anyways, thank you guys. I appreciate you. I've been rambling too much. Thanks so much for stopping by. I really do appreciate it. And yeah, I will see you tomorrow for reactions, hopefully. And yeah, if not, I'll be talking about it on Twitter. So yeah, thank you guys so much. Appreciate you. I will see y'all next time. Have a good one. Have a good night, everybody. Oh my God, where is OBS?